Hello there, D Square here, continuing on with my Hoxpox comic reviews. Today, House of X number 4 was released. You might want to get a box of tissues, because this bad boy does have some moments that aren't going to be exactly pleasant. We get to see right from where the last issue left off, where the X-Men landed on the Orchis facility that is holding Mother Mold and orbiting around the sun. We see that they landed. Orchis, of course, knows it, and luckily enough, quote unquote, one of the Orchis soldiers was actually kind of like a general. He was right in the section of the space station where the mutants had landed, and so he tinkered around with his gun, made it into a bomb, detonated it, and poof. We see the spacecraft that our heroes arrived in go up in smoke, not completely obliterated, of course. And so that takes us into this issue. We get to see what the results of that are, and we get to see what happens next in this particular conflict where the mutants are assaulting the Orchis Mother Mold space station. So definitely some good artwork here. Everything is depicted real well. You can tell what happens. There was one particular scene where at first I wasn't sure, like, oh, did that just happen? But just after a couple more seconds of looking at the image, I could definitely tell what happened there. So, that's fine. Maybe not knowing at first glance, but I should definitely be able to see what's going on when I examine the image more, and that was certainly what happened here. This is definitely moving this whole Hoxpox story along. Almost, it's darkest before the dawn, huh? Dawn of X coming soon. How about that? Puns. Anywho, so we get to see this progression. We get to see the consequences, of this salvo between Orchis and the mutants. I'm going to give this one, and this may probably be a little bit controversial because I don't think this is going to score that high with most people. I'm going to give this a 9.75 out of 10. That's right, near perfection. It didn't have these huge reveals that we've had in the other issues, so I'm not going to discount this too much. But what this does do is, of course, it has charts like the other issues do, and these charts really help to take you through these like near extinction events, multiple ones that the X-Men and the mutants have had to endure. And so this issue could almost be a good standalone issue. Now obviously it makes a heck of a more sense knowing all the context of the Hoxpox story so far, but even if we remove it from that with the charts, it is telling a story of the oppression that the mutants and the X-Men have gone through over the years. Now, I don't know if this is Hickman giving justification for maybe something the mutants are going to end up doing here further along in the story, or to justify their attitudes of being gods, so that, we're not seeing that in a negative light. We're just thinking, oh, the poor mutants, they've lost so many and they're so small, and so I really want to see how this is all going to unfold. But this is a great issue. This is a statement issue that really displays all the hardships that the mutants and the X-Men have gone through. And I feel it's really, really needed because we see the mutants taking more of a position of power here, claiming that they're gods. So it is nice to see a little bit of a justification for it so it doesn't land so hard. Plus, I've seen people on Twitter and whatnot, basically like, oh, why are the X-Men they're so highlighted. Oh, they're always highlighted. They're always given great stories. And it's like, maybe the stories are great, but have you seen what's been happening to them? So they definitely deserve, some good vibes here, which they don't exactly get in this issue, but definitely make sure you check it out. Of course, we're going to be talking spoilers on Volsker and D-Squared Talk. That'll be loaded up later this week, possibly early next week on this channel, so stay tuned for that. But until then, guys, peace and love, and we'll see you again real soon.